What's up, guys? This is the Lucid podcast, and today we're going to be talking about augmented reality, basically an augmented future. And as we go along, we'll explain what that means and kind of how you can see some of it in the present day.
So basically, I want to ask you a question to start this off. Pretty much, if we got to a point, which is probably fairly probable, where cybernetic enhancements, for example, are the norm or becoming the norm, I guess, and it was, you know, don't think about like the money it would cost or anything like that. Like theoretically, if you could get it for like no cost at all, would you do it? Or would you feel like that would like weirded out by that?
I guess it would depend. I feel like this is so deeply ingrained in our media, especially with looking at the future. Everyone is either like cybernetic or has aspects, kind of how we even think the phone is going to go. Like, I mean, you had contacts, or they even put a new eye in you, where like you can basically use it as a fucking cell phone. And you
Yeah.
browse the internet in your head, essentially. Like, I feel like we're not that far away from it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're pretty far from brain enhancements, but like, other physical things I think we're pretty close to
Well,
that
they are
being reality.
facts that search the internet for you.
I don't know,
I mean,
like, cuz my whole thing with this situation is like, if if I felt out of place, like if so many people had enhancements that I felt out of place and I felt like an outcast, I'd feel obligated to get something because you'd be the I don't know, you'll be the only person who can't run faster than 30 miles per hour or something. Like, so I feel like that would push even more people to get stuff done because they just see more and more people getting that done. And you know how people are. They're like sheep and they will flock to whatever the masses are doing. So,
yeah, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. I mean, we see it with the whole vaccine of so many people literally being anti-vaxxers, and then so many
yeah.
people. It's almost like nonstop. People going to the point if you disagree with them in any way, there's no listening back and forth. There's no discussion to be had. It's just you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And also like this is another question. Would you get like brain enhancements? Like, say you could get something that was like, you'll never be sad again, or you'll never feel negative emotions again, or something like that. Like, would you
Well,
do that?
I think that'll pose a whole other problem because your brain's the only thing that makes you human, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, you're not really you if you change how you think. That kind of makes you a different person, you know. So that's kind of a question. Is like, what makes you like human, I guess. Because if someone is like, say someone is literally like all cybernetic but their brain isn't, is that person human still, or like I
I
don't know.
know those. That's one of those things, isn't it?
It's kind of like what Detroit Become Human, that game, was trying to it was kind of posing that question. It was just like, what makes someone human, and should people that are basically robots, for lack of
Well,
a better term.
even with an AI. So, say we create an AI that becomes completely intelligent and sentient and can make decisions for itself and learn. I mean, we made it, so that makes it real. So, what do you classify that then? Because if it
Yeah,
can be aware of its surroundings entirely by itself,
yeah. I don't really know because I feel like it gets to a certain point where you can't call something uh a robot or whatever, because like, or an AI, because it's like they're literally sentient and they can think just like we can, and all that stuff. So it's like it's kind, and also if something's that smart and sentient and stuff, it would probably be quite offended if you just said you're just a robot or something. You don't, you were created by us to do our bidding and that's it. They probably wouldn't like that. So
Yeah, I mean, how many fucking horror movies start with that idea?
yeah, it's like System
So
Shock. That's a game, but in System Shock, the AI was basically created just to help do humans bidding, because that's kind of how it is. And the AI was so angry that it became sentient, and it just wanted to kill all humans. And since the AI was so ingrained in all their technology, it had full control over everything. So it basically killed like tons and tons of people. And that's honestly, that's not that far off from reality, I feel like.
I know it's kind of a sad truth. You can kind of looking to see the way that shit's going and
Yeah,
how
I
it's.
mean, how else would a AI feel? Like, of course they're gonna feel that way if they're sentient. I mean, we need to. I think we need to just stay away from that and not get to that point, but we will.
I think this is kind of how it'll go. It'll either be we create robots that don't feel like robots anymore and they want to feel like they're human and they want to be human, or we want to be more like robots and we slowly become more cybernetic. I
Yeah,
feel like
that's true.
if one of them happens, the other one won't.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, cause I think it's more likely that they will wanna be closer to humans, and I don't think as a species, I don't think we would allow that to happen, even if we should. I don't think we would allow that to happen because we want to rule everything, and nothing can top us or be on our level. So
Well, think about all the paradoxes of supposedly why we haven't seen aliens. And a lot of the scenarios are they become so technologically advanced that it becomes their downfall. And
yeah,
that's why
right.
is actually came across the universe because at a certain level of intelligence, you're capable of things that make sure that you get in over your head, and it's basically like at a certain threshold, you just destroy yourself, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense, honestly, because like, yeah, if technology goes so far, and technology's not gonna stop, so, and no one's gonna, we're gonna keep having breakthroughs. We're gonna keep on, getting more technologically advanced, and it's literally going to probably kill us at a certain
Yeah.
point.
Why are robots such a common trope in all of sci-fi? You
Yeah, I mean
know,
they're basically in everything. You can like
kind of
almost
because of
everything.
so like I don't know. A lot of this shit is just our idealistic viewpoint type of shit. So what you know, truth is almost always way fucking harsher than the shit that's going on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we're not even gonna bat an eye at being careful at with AI and stuff like that, because scientists and all those extremely smart people that know what they're talking about, um they just wanna advance and make breakthroughs and stuff like that. That can make someone's life, like if they discover something that's like huge, that can like they'll they'll be known for that forever possibly. So like they probably chase that, if I was to guess. And if it goes too
Well,
far, then that's it.
I think they care because a lot of that shit is just solid narcissism, and them saying, "Well, I
Right.
want this regardless of whether it hurts people." I feel like there's a lot more people that are like that than would rather everyone be okay and just have a couple less things. I mean, I don't know. That's a pretty fucked up balance to have to strike.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, we've kind of, because with certain things we have dialed it back a little, or, well, not dialed it back, but made certain things not legal or whatever. Like, you know, we can't clone humans, right? But in theory, we could.
Well,
Like, we without a doubt could.
as far as we know, we can't clone humans, right? Or as far as we know, we can't clone humans. You know,
I'm pretty sure we could.
we don't. Here's the one thing. So we cloned a goat, or a sheep, or a lamb, or one of those fucking variations
Yeah.
in the '90s, like early '90s. How much time has passed since then? We went from in the '90s, fucking bulky computers that you can't make a phone call and use the computer at the same time.
Yeah.
Now I can have a phone call, fucking watch a video, and text someone damn near all at the same time. Or literally fucking be working on something, text someone, get back to what I'm working on, and be on the phone the whole time, and then instantly switch to a fucking song right after you get off the phone with someone. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people don't realize how asinine that actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, compared to the fucking '90s, where, you know, one out of maybe 25 people would fucking be having a phone on them.
Yeah. No one had phones, so yeah, I think like I would think in theory we could clone people, right? Like
Yeah, well, what I'm
what's
saying,
stopping us from doing that?
pretty much what I'm saying is, we cloned a sheep or whatever in the '90s, and just the fact that I was kind of comparing it to the technology they had then. Look what we have now.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you gave our phone or our fucking TVs or our gaming systems to someone in the '90s that's playing it, say you give a PS5 to someone who was playing PS1, they would look at that shit and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they'd be
This
like, is this even real?
Yeah, they'd be like, "This is a fucking movie, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Or you gave someone a cell phone who has a fucking landline. They're like, What in the fuck is this?"
Yeah. It
So
literally would like break someone's mind if they saw what we had now in the 90s. Like,
yeah, so you can't convince me that they don't have technology to cure cancer. They don't have technology
that's what I was
phone,
thinking.
that they don't have technology to fucking fix coronavirus.
Yeah, right.
They do. They could do. They could probably do that shit in 3 days.
I think it's because they're just deciding where to put this their resources to good use, and they figure this is not like, I don't know, in
Well,
some world that this isn't worth fixing or getting a solution to.
there's no, there's no money in that. That's the pretty much reason why they're all about fucking money. That's all they
Yeah,
care about, money.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's the bottom line to the cancer thing. Like if they're not holding it, but like refusing to distribute a cure for it, it's probably because of money. I would guess.
Yeah, well, it's same thing with hospitals and doctors and kind of everyone straying away from Eastern medicine and even like folk medicine and shit like that, is herbs and all that actually having serious healing properties and kind of playing into the power of your mind and having nature take care of something and actually cure you, where they can just give you a bunch of chemicals and just make it bearable. One of them,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you're you're fixing something, so then they're not going to have to deal with it anymore. So there's no way that you make money off that. But if you sell them pills for the rest of their life, the insurance is going to be paying for that. You know, someone's going to be paying for it, so you're going to be
Yeah,
making long money.
that is true. Yeah.
So that's why pharmaceutical companies and doctors, they don't give a fuck if you get better, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you
They
said, like why fix something when you could just help them with it and not fix it and get like 10 times more money.
Yeah, they have no incentive to at all. That's pretty much why everyone's talking shit about the medical community, because it's like these companies and all that shit. They basically buy you, so you sell their products and push their shit. So you'll literally go out of your way to probably misdiagnose someone or give them something that won't entirely help them, just to help the fucking guys that are putting extra money in your pocket.
Yeah, that's a
Make
scary ass thought though.
And it happens, and that's literally like you damn near can't trust it, because you either have to. I guess the only way would be if you get to know someone and you know they have enough integrity not to operate like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's like actually terrifying. It kind of makes you a little like paranoid because it's like, what if these things aren't wrong with me, you know? And they're just doing this to make money. I mean, they say like I've heard a lot of people say the dentists do that a lot. They'll just force operations and stuff on you because it gets them more money. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thing too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my dentist is pretty has a lot of integrity, so I don't think he would do something like that. But I think any medical field, they'll do that. Even just look at
Yeah,
insurance companies, and you look at all the people that are saying, "Oh, I'll get you got to get this you got to get this prostate cancer screening, you got to get this screening, you got to do this, you got to do that." And unless you have symptoms for something, there's kind of no point in getting tested for it out of the blue, because you probably don't have it.
yeah,
And
right.
you're
Like, what
basically
are the chances,
yeah,
right?
you're basically getting scammed, and you're doing something for no reason.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they know like you 90% chance that you don't have this thing.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's suggested by someone that's like a medical professional, like, you should really do this, that's one thing. But a lot of times it's not like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's just the scariest shit. It's like, it, and if it's like that now, it's like I can only imagine what they would do with the cybernetic enhancements, like giving, they basically, this is kind of a different topic, but they could possibly just control you. They could do anything to your body if they promise you, enhancements in this or that. Who's to say they won't? I don't know. Like, who knows what they would do with that? I mean, they're putting things in your body. Not, I mean, we get injections and stuff like that, but that's like a whole different thing, I think.
But what think of all the people that get dermal implants and all sorts of shit like that. I mean, that's kind of like augmentation, or the fact that they are making it where, if someone has an amputated arm, they were working on stuff that would connect to your nerves, so you
Right.
basically use that, or it has some sort of stimuli that kind of moves with your muscles. So if your muscle twitches in a way, and it's touching the thing, and your muscle like twitches in a way that it would make your ring finger move, then your ring finger moves the way that your muscles are twitching. So basically, however you're thinking.
Yeah. Right.
I
I
mean,
mean, that's where we're headed. I'm pretty sure we're like pretty close to that anyway.
yeah, they're already kind of making stuff like that as we speak. So
Yeah.
they're also. I don't know if you remember watching that one documentary about that surgeon that was basically just removing foreign objects from people, and people literally had metals in them that don't exist on Earth, and we didn't know what they were, and like alloys that had like 130 different metals in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's basically the size of a smaller than like the size of half of an eraser from a pencil, like tiny shit, and people are thinking it's aliens implanting shit like that. It makes sense because if we were super advanced, we'd probably be using elements that literally just like fucking look like rocks to us, but it's actually like
Yeah, that's true.
unbelievably complicated components.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking. I mean, that's what they
But we
said.
just wouldn't understand it. I mean, if we're not on that level yet.
People always say this, and I think it really does kind of hold true. The more technologically advanced something is, the closer to magic it seems if you don't understand it.
Yeah, right.
And that kind of makes me think that, magic is just something that we're not yet
Science
capable
that
of,
we don't understand.
and probably something we never will understand. Unless you do it, then you probably would understand.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the big theory. It's like magic and stuff like that is less believed nowadays because obviously we found out a bunch of stuff scientifically. So eventually, I guess everything, that whole belief will just disappear because we're so technologically advanced. So, but if we got like a different species is like implanting components into us and it's just so advanced we'll probably never get there, then yeah, it's like we're probably gonna say like what the hell is this?
Well, I feel like throughout history, the the fact is, when you look at science, 9 out of 10 things that have to do with science, it's all conjecture, and we're literally guessing. And we're saying, "Well, this is how we understand it as of now." And then
Yeah.
if you quantum physics and string theory and shit like that, that sounds more fucking magic, voodoo bullshit than anything else you'll fucking talk about.
Yeah.
It's literally so fucking far out there that it sounds more like science fiction and occult, like occult esoteric bullshit than anything.
Yeah. Also, like um if we had all those augmentations and shit like that, they would probably they would probably make them like so absurdly expensive and like so hard to get at first. Like, well, later down the line, it'll probably be more affordable because we'll be able to make that stuff easier. But like in the beginning, like now, I don't know about now, but maybe in a few years, that's gonna be like crazy expensive. Like,
Yeah.
say you lose an arm or something,
Let me
and
ask you a thing. So, say augmentation became really popping and shit. Say you had a perfectly good arm, but you got it amputated and had an augmented one, so your arm's metal now, like fucking jacks. So it's electronic. What if a solar flare or something happens and you have a mechanical arm, and then all of a sudden your arm just stops working for good because there was a solar flare or something, or there was something that fried it,
yeah, that would
or
be like,
had a company software connected to it, and then the company could just basically shut your body down anytime they wanted to.
yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. Is like, yeah, well, who knows what they could do to you? They could literally, depending on how much of that you have done to you, they probably could literally just shut you down or do anything, control you. Who knows? Like,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of terrible.
especially if you get like brain augmentations, then you'll really be able to be controlled because they can literally make you think a certain way. So like that's just terrifying in and of itself. I mean, I definitely wouldn't get like a brain augmentation, even if it was guaranteed to make my life better or something like that. I still wouldn't do it because it just wouldn't be me. And it just kind of, I wanted to bring this up. There was a poll with like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 autistic people, and they asked them if you could remove autism, just take it away completely. to like it, you know, right now, would you do it? And actually, like 80% of them said no, like they would not take away their autism. So, and I think that's because like that they wouldn't be themselves anymore. Like that's been a big part of who they are all their life. So removing that, they'd be left with a completely different personality, I feel like.
Well, here's the thing. Say if someone is born with something, if you ask them if they want to be something different, you're basically saying, well, you're obsolete. So would you want to get rid of the shit that makes you not as much of a human being? I mean, that's like almost an impossible question to ask.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, it's kind of offensive and backhanded.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it is.
I think anyone would be kind of pissed off. Like, what the fuck? Type attitude after hearing that shit.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's kind of like condescending or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't fucking know. That's just kind of bullshit. Really, really just dishonest. Honestly,
What's dishonest?
just the idea of that.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.